Hello YouTube, it's your boy Nathan coming here to do another recap video. Today we're going to talk 90 Day Fiancé Season 9, the tell-all, the first part 1 of the tell-all. We are finally at the end of the season and finally at the tell-all. So the tell-all is basically a reunion show when all the couples from 90 Day Fiancé come to New York to tell their story in front of and meet everybody, all the other couples, and meet up and tell us the update of what's going on, recap what went on throughout the season and their journey and what's going on now. And this is the first tell-all where all 14 people, all 7 couples are actually in studio. Usually on tell-alls, on other spin-offs, like we usually have 1 or 2 people on a video chat because they're either from a different country and couldn't get to the US or went back home, or they're sick or whatever, or if they choose not to come. So I'm excited. This is the first tell-all where all 7 couples have made it in person. So this was going to be a good one. So the tell-all, first of all, is hosted. She's been hosting this show for years, and she does a phenomenal job. Her name is Shawn Robinson. Shawn Robinson, other YouTubers hate her. I don't. I love her. She does a phenomenal job of hosting this show. She is classy. She asks all the important questions. She doesn't get mad. Like she holds her composure. Like, she does a phenomenal job, and she's been doing it for years. I am not sure why other YouTubers can't stand her though. Other YouTubers think that she don't ask more questions, or some of the questions she asks is stupid, or I really want her job and stuff. But, my response to that is this woman worked hard, studied hard to get to where she needs to be, and broadcast. And, I studied broadcast journalism, so I know, like, the hard work behind it. A lot of people think, like, hosting is easy and stuff. It's really not. And there's a lot to it behind the scenes that we don't get to see. There's a lot of preparation and a lot of work that needs to be done, and a lot of studying, and that other YouTubers need to understand when they're doing this. So just to hate on her, they're hating on her because they ain't her. But, I digress. But, I just love Shawn Robinson. She is phenomenal. She does a great job hosting the show. So, but anyway, back to the recap. So, it's the tell-all. So, all the couples arrive. They have the little holding room where they meet everybody and make little jokes and here and there. Everybody's saying, I'm ready for whatever's coming at me today. I'm worried what the other cast is going to say about me. Everybody's ready to go. So we start out the tell-all. We're meeting everybody. It starts off, Shawn tells everybody that 2 people are pregnant. So, as we all know, Emily and Kobe got pregnant. Now, Emily and Kobe were filming, I think, in 2021. So, they actually already had their baby. They actually had a baby girl already. I forget what her name was, but they had a baby girl. Emily and Kobe's baby was already born. So it wasn't them. It was announced that Thais and Kara are pregnant. So, and they're both 16 weeks. They're both 16 weeks. So it was pretty cool that they're both going to basically be due around the same time. So congratulations to Kara and Thais. Congratulations to Patrick and Guillermo for about to become potential fathers and stuff. So I'm happy for them. So we get down to the nitty gritty, and we're to start with let's start with Ari and Benny, Jabri, Miona. So Jabri, I think a question was asked, like, how's things going and stuff, and Jabri just came out to this tell-all. Like, he had like a real nice sparkly outfit on and stuff, but he just came out of here just like guns blazing. He was taking jabs at people and ready to fight and stuff. Like, he just was just all over the place. So I guess Ari had, they were talking about Jabri, Miona, and the family and stuff, and Ari had mentioned that if if the mother-in-law, if the in-laws are not getting along with Miona, that could fall back on the son. Maybe Miona came out a little bit strong and stuff. And Jabri just like attacked Ari, said, "You think my mom is jealous? You're the most jealous person here," and everything. And Ari was like, "If I'm jealous, do you think I would know jealousy?" And he was like, "Obviously." And Jabri was like, "Ari and Benny are not going to make it." He was saying they're not going to make it. She's too jealous. She's holding Benny back. And Sean was like, "You don't think they're going to work out?" And he was like, "It's not that I don't think. I know they're not going to work out." And I just thought how he was doing that was just completely rude. Like Ari said that he was being a bully and stuff. You don't wish somebody not to work out. And then he had the nerve to say that like he basically is on Benny's side, but this dude had the nerve to say that he could set up a fight. He'll fight with Benny for MMA because Benny. It was announced that Benny finally got his green card and he still wants to pursue his MMA fighting career. And so Benny is about to be making the money that he wants, depending on how hard he works with it. Now, and Jabri thinks Ari's going to hold him back. And then Jabri was like, "Man, I'll fight you. We'll set up $100,000. I got $100,000. We'll set up a fight and stuff." Now, I know he was kidding, but even kidding, I'm sorry, but didn't anybody see when Benny had his little expedition fight and what he did in 33 seconds? And let's not forget that Jabri was in a coma after fighting with his best friend David when they were younger and stuff. So taking both of those into consideration, I wouldn't have, even as a joke, I wouldn't have challenged Benny to a fight, Jabri. I'm sorry. And I just think that it was just completely rude. Now, and I'm not a fan of Ari. I'm not a huge fan of Ari. I like Ari some days I'm not. I don't. But I thought that was just completely rude for him to just to like bash their relationship, to say they're not going to work. She's to control it. She's holding him back. He doesn't know. That's just what we see on TV. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that we don't know. That's how the tell-all basically got started. And moving on to Emily and Kobe. Emily and Kobe, they're doing fine. They said that, they have their little problems. Kobe, as we all know, Kobe was an underwear model. And I guess that was brought up about his tidy whities. Well, Kobe had gotten these customized underwear that had in Emily's picture on his underwear, and he pulls out his pants and shows everybody his underwear that has the picture of Emily on it. So everybody's just like, it was clapping and laughing. It was just like, okay, okay, good for him. But Kobe, he has a job. He works a lot of overtime. So he's actually doing really well, trying to provide for him and his two kids. So next up was Bilal and Shayda. We actually got into the deep depths of Bilal and Shayda. So Bilal and Shayda, it was brought up that they don't like really Bilal's lecturing, and it was brought up that his lecturing is just getting annoying towards everybody, including Shayda. Ari, I think Miona had said, "Bilal, you sound like a professor." Ari said that what you sound like sounds suspicious. Patrick said that, he's actually a good salesman. We're witnessing a good salesman here. So Bilal is still being attacked on how he's talking, like the way he talks. I think Bilal, he's very smart, but and the way that he presents himself is really smart. But sometimes being smart and being a smart aleck can coming off, and everybody's thinking he's being a smart aleck. So they also discussed the scene when, back in the early part of the season, when Shayda smacked him in the back of his head while he was driving, and then he pulled over, and everybody was like, "Would anybody else have pulled over and yelled at her like that?" And everybody was like, "No, like he overreacted on that," I think I think when I recapped that episode, I think I said, like, there's like both ways. Like, it was a big deal, but I see his point. You don't want to do even the smallest thing when somebody's driving. Like, I wouldn't touch a driver. I wouldn't touch a driver while they're driving in any kind of way, soft, hard, whatever. So I get it, but whatever. So in Bilal and Shayda's segment, they brought out a Shayda, Bilal's ex-wife. And Shayda comes out, and Shayda just did not even want to look to her. Shayda is still mad about their conversation, like prior to the wedding, about they were talking about the prenup, and she was like, I want to make sure my kids are taken care of. Shayda came out really strong on Shayda in that scene. When they were talking about the prenup and the kids and stuff, and that like really offended Shayda, and Shayda just like that did it for her. Don't want nothing to do with her. So Shayda comes out, and Sean asks, like, what went wrong in your marriage? And and a lot of stuff, it was similarity. Like Shayda did end the marriage. It was the same thing. Like it was talked about that he was a big lecturer, and there was some other underlying issues that they had, and it was also mentioned that she didn't like how Shayda reacted to the prank that Bilal had put on Shayda at the beginning of the season. Remember, at the beginning of the season, Bilal pranked Shayda and bringing it into their home house that wasn't up to par, and picking her up in that van. And Shayda was like, I'm upset at how she reacted to that, because I lived in that house for 2 years, and he wanted to prove to her that she was here for the right reasons and why he did that. So like that house has sentimental values to her as well. So she was upset that reacting the way to the house the way she did and stuff. So yeah, so there's just a lot. I think that family, Bilal's family, they're really, really they worked hard to where they needed to be. And I think that, and Shayda comes from a really, I think she worked really hard in Trinidad as well. So nobody here, like everybody did start out a little poor, but this family, including Shayda in the mix, worked hard to get to where they need to be, where they're at now. So there shouldn't be like I don't see any gold digger vibes in Shayda. I think that her and Bilal just need to sit back and relax and live a happy life. And, they're going to have problems, whatnot. Yes. Now, the thing is, Shayda had mentioned that Bilal did put that in the prenup that he has to help her open her yoga business in the next couple of years, and she has to be pregnant by age 40. So, and Sean asked the question, what happens if that doesn't happen? And, there wasn't really like an answer to it. It was like, nothing really happens, unless they get divorced or something. But, because in some cases, if that doesn't happen, you have to like go to court, or you have to pay, you get the money. But, nothing happens if Bilal doesn't open up her business or doesn't get her pregnant by 40. So, and she's 37. So that was that. So yeah, but Bilal and Shayda, they seem to be doing well. We're gonna be seeing more of them in a couple of weeks on Happily Ever After. They're the only couple from this season that's gonna be on the next season of Happily Ever After. So we'll see how their story continues. So we'll see more of them. Now we're gonna switch back over to Kara and Guillermo. So yeah, Kara and Guillermo, they're doing well. They're doing well. Kara, as I mentioned, she's pregnant. And, and whatever, a lot of their conversations this season was about Kara's controlness over Guillermo and treating him like a baby and stuff. That was their topic of scene. And then Kara's ex-boyfriend, Chris, who Guillermo met at the high school reunion, he shows up at the tell-all. And they look back on the scene when he's like, I don't think Kara and Guillermo are going to make it. Kara cheated on me, and Guillermo ain't man enough. And when he came out, Guillermo wouldn't even look at him, because of what he said, saying that he's not man enough. I just don't get what's with the name calling, like what's with the bashing, like why these people ain't gonna work out and stuff. Like everybody has their little assumptions, but deep down we really don't know what's going on in their house. And even me recapping, I can say what I think is happening, but if they're still together for a reason. And who is this guy to come out and just say that? And Kara and Guillermo, they're doing well. Chris comes out and says his piece. Kara had cheated in the past and everything, and they're just trying to work through their relationship. So yeah, Kara and Guillermo, they're doing fine. Next I'm going to talk is Eva Mohammed. They just did like an introduction scene. They talked about, I guess now Mohammed is now letting Eve wear whatever she wants. Some days, like, he still has an issue with her like wearing a tank top or a bikini or whatever and everything. So that topic was brought up, and the other topic is when he was asking for another sponsor when Eve wouldn't give him what he wanted and stuff, and everybody was like, no, you don't ask nobody else you don't ask another person for a sponsor. Like, it does not work like that, buddy. That just, and Emily has said, that just screams red flag, green card right there. Proving that you're not here for the right reasons. So yeah, I mean, that's basically all we've seen out of Eva Mohammed. We'll see more of them next week on part 2 when they talk to somebody from Eve's squad. But right now they seem to be doing well. Again, there was a rumor, and I don't get into rumors and about those leaked messages about Muhammad. I mean, obviously this happened after the tell-all was filmed, so I don't know what the update was that. But I think Eva and Muhammad are still together despite some the messages that were leaked. I'm not going to get into that because those are just rumors, they're not confirmed. And yeah, unless even Muhammad publicly say we broke up because of this, I'm not gonna speak on that. So yeah, so that was Eva Mohammed. And then there was Patrick and Thais. And Patrick and Thais, now Thais is pregnant, so the one question they did not ask is how is her relationship with her father. It was brought up, but they didn't ask the relationship with the father. They started off first with Patrick's like when they first got together, Patrick cheating on Thais. Like, Patrick claimed like him and Thais like went on like a little break, or they weren't really like together, and he went on another date with another girl and he made out with her and stuff. Thais thinks that they had sex, but Patrick says they really didn't, but it was like in a confusing time. So that's why like Thais has trust issues with him and has the location on his phone and everything. And then it was brought up that that Thais and Patrick and Thais, like, it was just a back and forth. Were they together or were they weren't? They weren't together, but it's still cheating. Anybody can debate that for whatever how long, but that's the reason why Thais has trust issues with Patrick. But later they come back and bring out John, and John just comes out. He looked like he was drinking. He said he didn't drink that day, but he drank like 6 or 12 beers the night before. He just seemed very, very hungover. Like the next day, just coming out, yeah, I'm about to be an uncle. I think I told some people this, and that. And then Jabri was just like, dude, are you drunk right now? Like anything. And he was like, Sparkles. He kept on calling him Sparkles. Like, like, it was like, oh my god, like two egos about to go at it. Like, Sparkles, I was having a nice conversation and you opened up your mouth and everything. And I'm just like, John did come out a little bit strong, but he didn't go after Jabri. He just comes out of his typical John self. Now, half of this, it's half and half how I feel about John. Half of the people in the who watched 90 Day Fiancé love John, think that he was the best part of the season. The other half think he's a mess. I'm one of the half that thinks he's a mess because like he got into the business so much this season, and he just like he was a third wheel. Jabri did tell him stop third wheeling. This is your brother and everything. So that I will give him that. And that's the only thing he should have said. That stop third wheeling, bro, and everything. And it just left off with him and Jabri going back and forth, and we left on a cliffhanger on that. So, yeah. Now, like I said, back to Jabri and Miona. Jabri just needs to keep his mouth shut. Like, he had an opinion about everybody taking jabs. He just needs to stay out of it. His relationship ain't perfect, clearly. And and yeah, and he even said something to Kara's ex-boyfriend Chris, like, dude, you gotta let go. Like she's with him now. You ain't nothing. He was a little bit kinder with him, but still, he was taking jabs at everybody, at all the couples. And I just think that he was just completely rude and out of line. And now we left on the cliffhanger for next week for the tell-all. Him and John are going to continue to go back at it. He's starting to to fight John if they have to go back on set together and stuff, and John's like, bring sparkles, I'm not scared, you still live at home with your mom, how's things on the farm and all that, so like it's, yeah, so yeah. But yeah, guys, I know I rambled a little bit on and on this one, but that was the first part of the tell-all. It was really good. I can't wait for the second part. We'll see more what happened with John and Jabri. We'll see what's really going on with Emily and Kobe deep down, Eva Mohammed deep down, Ari and Benny deep down, and actually what's really going on with Jabri and Miona deep down. I guess David is going to be coming out. So yeah, I'm looking forward to part 2 of the tell-all. The first part was really good. Second part will get more answers of what I'm looking for. I'm excited. Can't wait. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be back on tomorrow to do Catfish and Married at First Sight on Wednesday. And then the second part of the tell-all next week. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.